Porter Jr. has been surrounded by a lot of talk due to the incident in Cleveland where he was moved to the Houston Rockets in a trade that a lot of people who are not basketball heads probably didn't understand or didn't care to know. He's now made his way to the Houston Rockets and been put on the G League team. And when we look at the stat line for the guy, and I had one of my conversations, one of my videos where I went in depth on Kevin Porter Jr. because I think he's a special talent. He's starting to again pay the piper. He's taking a hold of his opportunity. In the G League, the boy averaged 24 points per game, almost 8 assists. Now the turnovers, a little bit high, but it is high. But the output, the ability to almost be a triple-double threat is what making Kevin Porter Jr. a special player. I have no clue why a team like the New Jersey Nets did not attempt to get Kevin Porter in their lineup. And that's something from a bench perspective that I thought was an opportunity for them. Now we enter into the big leagues because a lot of people are going to talk about Kevin Porter Jr. and it's not really fruitful what you see in the G League because, there's players that have averaged 30 in the G League and have done nothing in the NBA. First game out, statistic-wise, Kevin Porter Jr. puts out 10 assists, and I believe he had 13 points in the game. They have him running the point guard position. He has a coach that is letting him play immediately because of his production in the G League. How special can Kevin Porter Jr. become in this league? There's not a doubt in my mind, as I mentioned, there's a lot of James Harden and Kevin Porter Jr. The one difference is, I'm going to say this, he's a little bit more ambidextrous. What that means is a little bit more flexible, Gumby-ish, a little bit more athletic, okay? I give James Harden a harder crossover dribble. Kevin has got that Seattle flair, that Jamal Crawford, that hop step that I love so much, right? I love the hop step dribbles. It's an amazing dribbling move, and really no way you can stop it once you learn it. Okay, he has that. He can jump around, bounce around. And of course, this channel. He can step back. What does this mean for the Houston Rockets? Well, not only Kevin Porter Jr. showed out. I want to go over another man who was not even really talked about. He's the son of a former great NBA player, one of the great power forwards in the league. And that is, yes, sir, let's get into Kevin Martin Jr., okay? This team is slowly building, after James Harden's loss, a formidable team if they're able to put all the pieces together. That's right, I said it. Kevin Martin, yes, sir, Kenyon Martin Jr., and I keep saying Kevin, my bad on that. Kenyon Martin Jr., dangerous, okay? He's a big athletic freak at 6'7". I hope he's still growing. He's only 20 years old. I think maybe have another year or so growth spurt. If he can get to that 6'8" range, 6'6", 6'8", he'll truly be something special at the power forward position as a stretch four. Think of Brandon Clark, what he's doing with Memphis. A terrific athlete. This team, again, gets another steal that was doing his damn thing on the G League. And man, what a surprise he was for the Houston Rockets. So in all this, I'm going into Kevin Porter Jr. I gave you a little bit of Kenyon Martin talk. Just guys you got to look at. You can go check out the videos. They also got Mason Jones from Arkansas, a guy that was a surprise player for me, a defensive edge player in Jason Tate. They're going to have to probably let P.J. Tucker go. We know that's about to be the next move for the squad. It is what it is. P.J. Tucker's older, did his thing, but obviously he wants to win a championship and he wants to be on a championship team. That's all he knows for the last 4 or 5 years, trying to make the championship. However, if they were able to keep him to continue to neuter and teach Jason Tate, who I think is going to be the heir apparent, they're able to keep Oladipo, a healthy Cousins, Christian Wood, John Wall. Hello, how are you? I mean, the team is scary. The team is scary. With the non-ability to get into the championship run, They obviously, I heard Cousins was let go. I mean, that's why I'm not seeing him on this roster. My understanding, and maybe I'll look it up, I'll talk to you, DeMarcus Cousins is gone. But there's an opportunity, and I would try to tank this team for the rebuild, and I think there's an opportunity to do that in this draft, right? And I think that's the biggest thing for them is to get in this draft. So when we go to the NBA draft, kind of going over their talent, what they got, and the continued success of Kevin Porter Jr., you know about the talent out here, right? You know about the talent that's coming in this year's draft, right? Lot of players, a lot to choose from. It is a strong draft. Let's take a peek real quick at the top consensus, guys, because you know what it is, man. It's a step back here. I just want to go off of facts, right? I don't want to give you any bourgeoisie, as they call it, bourgeoisie. We're going to get into it. Kate Cunningham's there. Jalen says, Kuminga. Kuminga sticks out to me, okay? Kuminga is the guy that I think would definitely fit with the Houston Rockets. I like where they got him situated. This is an amazing opportunity for the Houston Rockets to have an immediate rebuild, to have a guard of the future in Kevin Porter Jr. Maybe a trade for Oladipo to get back in this draft. Maybe get an Evan Mobley, okay, to continue on, to help out, to embody the mirror of Christian Wood, right? So you get Kuminga, you get Porter Jr., you keep Oladipo, you got John Wall. Okay, not sure if they keep John Wall. They may leverage him for a trade. In all, Houston is probably one of the best spots they've been in years. And mark my words, if done correctly, this team will be a contender for the Western Conference Championship in about 3 to 4 years, folks. That's what I'm telling you right now. If they're able to grow and neuter this young growth movement that they're trying to do, get Kuminga in the draft, a guy like that, Evan Mobley. Big free agents coming up next year. I don't mind John Wall at his position. I mean, I don't mind them keeping John Wall, but it is what it is. Oladipo, I don't mind them keeping Oladipo. But if they can make those moves, watch out, man. Houston, we got a problem. It was all about Porter Jr., but the conversation led me into the Houston Rockets and what they're trying to do overall. It's a dangerous team making dangerously good moves. Applause. Salute. Step back. I'm out of here. Houston Rockets. I salute you this week. I'm out. Peace.